What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It has been far too long since I have worked on the Veloster. It's been probably about 3 weeks since I've touched it, so I need to get back to working on it. So not exactly sure what all I'm going to work on this car yet. I'm just going to kind of see where I left off because it's been 3 weeks since I worked on it. So I'm just going to kind of give it a good once over, figure out what direction I'm going to go. I know that I'm still going to continue to finish the front. I'm not going to do anything to the rear of the car until the front is completely done. All the bodywork's done, bumpers fit, radiators fit, engines installed permanently with wiring hooked up and actually being able to run if I hook a gas tank up to it. That's my main objective before I move on to the rear. All right, guys, so it's been a while since I've worked on doing anything to the Veloster. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to try and finish molding in the instrument cluster piece, getting it done, and then once I get it molded in, I'm going to completely fiberglass the entire dash, get it in a primer coat. I don't know that I'll get it in a complete black coat in final, but I'd like to get it all the fiberglass work done to it, get the little panel made for down here to fill in that open area, and then the same on the other side where the glove box goes. Get all that molded in together and get all the top up here cut out so that I can get the torque meter bolted in and everything, and get the instrument cluster bolted in here. Then after I get all that fit, I can go put it in the car and I can figure out where I need to mount the metal bracket for the steering column, and we'll be good to go. All right, guys, so I don't know if you could tell or not, I haven't looked at the video yet, but I was having a little bit of trouble on this, started dropping down while I was doing the fiberglass work. So I'm gonna do just this one layer. Maybe I'll have to cut it and adjust it before I do my next layer. That's why I'm not gonna do the second layer yet. So I'm gonna let this dry, and once it dries, then I'll look and reassess and possibly do my next layer after that. All right, so I have one coat on the top holding this piece in, or actually I have two coats on the top, one coat on the bottom holding the bottom in. So now I'm gonna start trimming this fiberglass up, try and start giving it some shape, cut out what I don't need, because this doesn't even have fiberglass gel on it, it's just the cloth. But I'm gonna cut out where I need it trimmed out, get this to start getting some shape. I'm gonna cut this out to get my torque meter fitting, start kind of blending all this out and get it smoothed out. And then once I get all that done and get all the shape and everything, then I'll do multiple layers of fiberglass. That's when I'll start drilling the holes through the top of the plate. And I'll do probably 3 layers on the top and 2 layers on the bottom, just to reinforce the entire thing. And we'll see how it turns out. All right, everybody, I am making some pretty good progress on this thing. So I've got the instrument cluster fitting. So I got a little bit of fill-in work to do around this perimeter. Likewise, right here, I got to do some fill-in work right here, which I knew I was going to have to. I wanted to get it rough fit so that I could see exactly what I needed to do, because I'm also going to smooth out this ledge. You can see it's got a pretty good lip right there, and I'm going to smooth it out where it's just flush. Same over here, I'm going to smooth it out to where it's flush and just kind of blends in. And on the back, I'm going to make it blend in. So I'm making really good progress with this thing. I'm going to finish getting the fit right here done and get all this fitting better and get this fitting better. And then I'll finish up right here and getting all this blended in. Now I'm gonna leave it to where this panel still separates. So it'll separate right there. And then all of this is gonna be fiberglass up to here. I'm actually gonna fiberglass this entire panel to the dashboard. I'm not gonna make it separate anymore. So I am gonna continue the fiberglass down onto here. I'll stop it right here at the edge of the glove box, and that's where the glove box will shut. So everything on this side of the dash is gonna be one solid piece of fiberglass, and I'll do the same thing over here. I'll have fiberglass sheet going from here to here to make up that back corner. So, but like I said, everything's coming along really smooth. I'm digging how this thing's turning out. So I just gotta make sure that my piece for right here fits, and I'll be good to go. All right, guys, I think that's where I'm gonna stop for this evening, but I've got both of the vents fit. So I got this vent fit, I got that vent fit. This is all fiberglassed in. This is all fiberglassed in, instrument cluster fits. I still gotta finish doing here and here. I gotta mold in this and mold in this. I gotta patch this little spot right here. And then I still gotta build my wall here from up to here. This one I still gotta reinforce some more. I need to do at least another 2 sheets here. But I still have some more fiberglass work that I have to do here. So I mean, this is far from being the final iteration, but I'm getting much closer. So I'm really happy with how everything's turning out. Hopefully I will have this thing fiberglassed up and molded and everything by the end of the day tomorrow. Then I can start drilling all my holes through here. So this has the fiberglass mesh on it, all through here too. So all this is fiberglass mesh, but I'm gonna drill a whole bunch of freaking holes all through here. And then I'll fiberglass from the bottom. And then I'll refiberglass from the top, and I'll do multiple layers on top and bottom. But I'm gonna go get some Bondo with kitty hair in it so that I can blend this in, and try and get it all smooth and get it looking the way that I want it to look, because this has got a wave here that I need to blend out. I need to blend this out. I need to be able to blend this out. So it's gonna be pretty thick in here, but I'll be able to sand it from the back and thin it out. So it's gonna take a lot of work, but it's coming out the way that I want it to. As long as it keeps shaping the way that I'm trying to shape it, I think this is gonna turn out amazing. So we'll see. All right, so I just got this fiberglassed in, and I was working on getting this all filled in. So obviously it still looks rough because it's just rough, but I filled in right here where the instrument cluster goes, right here where the instrument cluster goes. So I still got to build this up right here. I still got to build up all this right here, but it's hot in here and my hands are sweating like crazy from wearing them gloves. So I'm gonna let this dry for a little bit, and then I'll do another layer of the green Bondo fiberglass, and I'll do right here and try and get all this looking better. And then I'll blend this lip right here. So I blended that lip in, it looks pretty good. So now I'm gonna do the same thing over here. It looks like I got the back pretty decent, but I think once I sand it out, it'll turn out all right. I may have to do 1 or 2 more layers on that. But all I'm trying to do is build a foundation, because I'm gonna sand this smooth and get it to where all these contours are the way that I want them. And then I'm gonna do another layer of fiberglass mesh over top of everything. I'll do 2, maybe 3 layers of the fiberglass mesh over top of everything when I get it all smoothed out the way that I want it. And that'll give it its final definition. All right, everybody, I sanded on this thing for a while. Everything seems to be shaping up pretty good. I think I got that piece fixed. I still got to clean up the edge right here, but I think that's going to work out good. All this shaping is taking a ton of time, but it's actually coming out pretty good. I got a couple low spots that I got to fill in, but everything's sanding out pretty good. This is going to take a little bit more fill in to get it level, and then I need a little bit of patchwork here. This needs to stay low because that's where the outline for the instrument cluster goes. So I need to do a little bit of fill in right here and right there. But all in all, it's coming out pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with how it's working out. It seems extremely sturdy. So it's pretty damn sturdy. So I don't think I'm gonna have any issues with it. So yeah, like I said earlier, I'm gonna drill a bunch of holes through here, through here, through here, through here, all through the top, and then do multiple layers top and bottom after I get all this shaped in. So I'm getting really close. I'm gonna finish filling in these low spots, fill in this low spot right here. I still got a lot more sanding to do right here. My arm is killing me. I think I pulled a muscle in my shoulder at work. So I'm moving a little bit slower than normal, but I've got a little bit of low area right here. So I'm going to put a skim coat over here. And then obviously I'm going to do a skim coat here and a skim coat here, because this is still a little bit low. It doesn't look like it in the camera, but it is low. And then this, I need to blend it in a little bit better because this dips in a pretty good bit right here. But everything else looks pretty good. Once I get the upper part done, then I'm going to start building this up and getting this the way that I need it to look, and getting this side the way that I need it to look, just so it looks uniform coming from the top to the bottom. Because if you look right now, it gets really thin down at the bottom. I want to keep it kind of thick all the way down. And then I want to do the same thing over here. I want to keep it a little bit thicker than what it is now. Not super thick, but maybe a 1/4 inch out. All right, guys, so here's the dashboard with everything installed in it. And looks pretty freaking good, all things considered. This is before I've done any fill-in work right here. I need to still do some fill-in work here. I got to figure out my edging here. I got to figure out my edging along here, but it's coming along really good. I was able to fill in the holes back here in the corners for the indicator, or for the instrument cluster. Got all this working pretty good. I got a low spot here, low spot here, low spot here. But I need to trim down this corner right here because it's up too high. But once I get it all shaped in, this is really gonna look really good. So I mean, I was able to get it looking pretty decent on the sides. Everything up here looks pretty good. So this is probably where I'm gonna stop the video. Just because my arm's fucked up. I probably won't work on this thing again until next weekend. All right, I did another top coat of fiberglass resin on here. Tried to get all my low spots filled in. Tried to get this filled in a little bit better. So now I'm actually gonna try and finish my shaping. Once I get the shaping finished, then I'll do my holes and do a bunch of top coat. All right, guys, I've got the contour of how I want the dashboard to look now. There are some small little pits in the fiberglass, but I'm doing full sheets of fiberglass over top of this, so I'm not going to worry about them currently. When I get done with the very top layer, and I sand and I block sand it out and get it completely smooth, if there's any pinholes, then I'll go over it with Bondo and fill in the little pinholes. But I'm not going to do it on this layer because I'm going to be doing fiberglass over top of the entire thing, 3 layers on top and 2 on bottom. So it's going to fill in all those little low spots with the gel. So I should be fine. So now that I've got this entire contour shaped out the way that I want it, so you can see there's no more dip in the center. There's no more dip in the center over here either. And I've got the back smoothed in. All of this is smoothed in now. Looks really good. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna lay down another layer of fiberglass. I'm gonna trim out around here, and I'm not gonna fiberglass that, and I'm gonna trim out right there, or maybe a little bit closer. I'm gonna trim out where that black line is. So I'll trim it out right up inside of there. And that way I can build that up to get that gap closed up underneath the trim for the instrument cluster. Same thing with this. I'm actually gonna leave it on here. I'm just not gonna put the gel in the center part. I'm only gonna do the resin all the way to the corner, and then I'll cut it out after the fiberglass dries. I'll cut this section out. But I think that's gonna be the next thing that I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna start drilling my holes through the top of the dashboard. I may actually flip it over so that I don't drill through the vent tubes, because they are part of the dash. So I gotta make sure that I work around that. So I'm gonna wind up drilling some holes right here on the edge, all the way along the edge, so that I can seal the fiberglass to the edge of the plate. And then I'll drill on the other side of that. So I'll start drilling on my holes up in here, all the way across the back. And then I'll do the resin, the green fiberglass resin. I'll shove it down into each one of the holes. I'll do a layer of that inside of the holes so that I get fiberglass going through the holes, and smooth it out on the back. And then I'll do my cloth with the resin on top of that, and it should bond everything together really strong, and I shouldn't have any issues with it breaking away from the dashboard frame, because it does not, the fiberglass, even though I've got it sticking to this, it doesn't want to stick real good. So I'm worried about when it starts vibrating and just getting road use, that it'll break loose of the plastic casing. So that's why I'm doing all the holes through it, so that it will actually be like plugs going through the plastic holding it, so that even if it does separate from the plastic, it'll still hold itself in place, because it'll have those fiberglass plugs. All right, everybody, that's where I'm gonna end the video for this installment on the Veloster. I've been working on this thing for a little over a week straight. I got a lot of time in it. I still got a lot more work to do to the dash. In the next video, I should have the dash completely finished being molded, and all my layers of fiberglass on the upper portion of the dash. I won't have the bottom portion of the dash done until I bolt it into the car and fit the center console and the armrest and everything, so that I can make sure that my lower walls are made the way that they need to be made before I start building them up. So I'm going to build up everything in the center of the dash and the top of the dash, instrument cluster, all that, where the vents go, and then about halfway down where the radio mounts. And I'll leave the rest of it unfinished until I get it in the car. And then when I get it in the car, I'll figure out the last little piece on each side that I need to do to finish those lower portions that go between the knee bolster and the center and the glove box in the center. So once I figure that out, then I can build up those sections and get the dashboard completely finished, and then I can put it in primer and paint and actually show you what it's going to look like in the car. So I'm hoping to have the the upper portion of it completely finished and mounted into the car by the end of the next video. So we'll see how that goes. But this is a long, tedious process. This is probably the most involved on fiberglass that I've gone so far in the things that I've done. I've usually only done fiberglass repair. I did make a custom fiberglass dash for a Corvette when I worked for my brother-in-law. But it was already prefab fiberglass panels. I just had to fiberglass those to each other. And I had to change some of the shapes, but nothing like what I'm doing on this. So this is way more involved than what I'm typically used to. So it's a learning process for me too. So if you see me doing something wrong in the process of doing this fiberglass, I'm learning. I'll figure it out. I mean, I've used both products before, but trying to shape and mold this thing the way that I want to shape and mold it it's difficult, but it's going the way that I want it to. So I think I'm doing what I need to do to get it how I want it. So, but anyway, if y'all like what you saw in this video, if you're enjoying the build on the Veloster, please, like always, like, comment, share, subscribe, let your friends see what I'm doing, and I'll check you in the next video. Have a great one.